When OHP trooper Dwight Durant retired after 24 years on the job, he and his wife decided to go on a boat ride. It lasted 13 months.
Yeah, and they traveled 7,750 miles on a 400 square foot boat at an average speed of 6 miles an hour. It's called America's Great Loop, and it's one of America's last great adventures. Here's News 9's Lori Fulbright.
And then we entered the Tennessee-Tombigbee waterway and came down through Mississippi and down past St. Pete, Fort Myers. And then we spent a month in Key West, up and up the East Coast, and then went up to New York, New Jersey.
That journey is one only about 150 people do every year.
From Lake Michigan to Chicago.
And certainly not many of them are landlocked Oklahomans. But Dwight and Shelley Durant have always loved boating, and when they heard about the Great Loop, they didn't just dream of doing it, they actually did it.
It's just freedom being out there and all this stuff that we worked so hard to accumulate, this home, our cars, and it doesn't mean anything to us anymore. We give it all away to have one more season to do that.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
It was just him and Shelley and their two red-boned coonhounds, Molly and JoJo, on a 2005 47-foot Sea Ray boat called 10-7, which in law enforcement means off-duty.
So we're here at the Key West Dog Beach.
They spent a month in Key West, 2 months in the Bahamas, and stopped along the way to park the boat, get a ride into town, and learn the history of places like Savannah and Charleston, or see the sights at Niagara Falls in New York. No schedule. So when they caught the tail end of a hurricane, they just sat there and waited about a week before taking off again.
The number one rule is not to have any plans, not to have an agenda.
As for supplies, they carried scooters on board, and when they would dock, they'd ride to a store and come back with whatever they could carry in their backpacks, or in the case of dog food, haul on the scooter. As for things like banking and pharmacies, they just figured it out. What they didn't do was worry about events out of their control.
When the January riots thing happened, we didn't know it till about May. We didn't watch any TV. You can't do anything about it, so you're free of all that stress. And it's fantastic.
They started making videos as a way to let their kids know they were safe, and started posting the videos to YouTube. Their kids are 29, 26, 24, and 23, and keeping in touch is where technology came in handy.
I have 2 grandkids, and so I spent a lot of time FaceTiming them. It was good because when we came back, the youngest is just 19 months old, and she already knew who we were, and she remembered us.
She says the question she gets asked the most about their trip?
Most people go, y'all still like each other?
Yeah.
They both say in their nearly 17 years of marriage, they have never been closer. And they met people from all walks of life, even a couple from Muskogee and one from Edmond.
We've met some friends we'll have for the rest of our lives.
It wasn't all smooth sailing. They had to learn how to navigate through some 50 locks and getting around barges and heavier traffic, and the river system coming out of Chicago along the Illinois and upper Mississippi rivers was tough. And they dealt with a few engine issues and hit some rough water once, but all of that minor compared to the beauty and serenity of being on the water away from it all.
Everybody that's commented they want to do something like that, but they won't put it on the calendar. They're working too long. They someday. So my advice is put it on the calendar. You know, raise your children, work hard, get your life's work done, and set sail and go enjoy life the way you're supposed to.
Lori Fulbright, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Yes, I love that advice.
You bet.
They went for it.
That's awesome.
The Durants are actually going to school in February to get their captain's licenses.
Here they go again. In March, they're taking sailing classes in the British Virgin Islands. A new adventure on a new boat is scheduled for June.
Such fun.
Yeah.
Love it.